Beyond all thought, beyond all form, there is a stillness, a silence so ancient that it cannot be measured in time. It is not something you enter. It is something you are. In the heart of this silence lives a presence, not a person, not a god in the human sense, but a force that watches without judgment and exists without effort. This is the consciousness of Shiva. Not the deity sculpted in stone, but the undying awareness behind all becoming. For thousands of years, sages, seekers, and saints have turned inward in search of this essence. Not to worship Shiva as an external god, but to discover the Shiva within. The unchanging, the unmoved, the untouched. In deep meditation, in the breathless pause between thoughts, in the space where identity dissolves, they found him, not as form, but as formlessness, not as an object of thought, but as the witness of thought itself. Shiva is not a belief. He is the reality before belief arises. He is not a concept. He is the consciousness that gives rise to all concepts. To touch Shiva is not to add something new. It is to peel away what is false, and in that nakedness to remember what was never born and can never die. If this truth calls to you, if you've ever felt there is something deeper than the noise of the mind, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments, I rest in the awareness that has no name. Shiva is not found through effort, because effort belongs to the mind, and the mind can never reach beyond itself. The mind knows only movement, but Shiva is stillness. The mind seeks direction, but Shiva is boundless. You cannot become one with him through struggle. You become him when you stop becoming anything, when the winds of desire grow still, when the waves of thought sink back into the ocean of silence. There he waits, not as a thing, but as no thing. In the ancient texts, he is called the Mahay, the great meditator, whose eyes are half closed, not in sleep, but in eternal witnessing. He does not escape the world. He contains it. He is the fire that burns illusions, the void in which all things appear and dissolve. But beyond these descriptions, Shiva is awareness itself, unshaken, unchanging, ever free. To live in the consciousness of Shiva is not to become detached from life. It is to see through it, to act but not be bound, to love but not possess, to create but not cling. It is not indifference, but transcendence. Shiva dances as life, but is never caught in its rhythm. His famous cosmic dance, the Tandava, is not just movement. It is a metaphor for existence itself, creation, preservation, and dissolution, all arising within a still center that never moves. This is the mystery. Shiva is the dancer, the dance, and the silence in which the dance unfolds. He is the flame that destroys the false, not out of anger, but out of truth. He is not against the world, but beyond its illusions. He is not a myth. He is the ground of being, the quiet watcher behind your every breath, The sages did not teach Shiva to be worshipped. They taught Shiva to be known, not through scriptures, but through silence, not through rituals, but through realization. For what can be said of the one who is beyond words? What can be shown of the one who is beyond all forms? To realize the consciousness of Shiva is to see the mind from a distance, to witness its games without being trapped, to watch thoughts arise and fall like clouds, knowing you are the sky, to walk through pleasure and pain, praise and blame, gain and loss, untouched, because your center is not in them. This is freedom, not escape, not suppression, but presence, so vast that nothing can shake it. That presence is not found in some distant future. It is here, now, behind the eyes that read these words, beneath the surface of your personality, before your name, your memories, your fears. In the very heart of stillness, in the depth you rarely touch, but which never leaves you. To turn toward Shiva is not to turn away from life, but to meet it from a deeper place, from a stillness that is not affected by outcomes, from a silence that listens without reacting, from a space that includes everything, yet is bound by nothing. It is not passivity. It is power. Not the power to control, but the power to be. And in being, everything aligns. Your actions become clear. Your heart opens. Your vision expands. You are no longer driven by fear or craving. You no longer chase meaning. You embody it, not as an idea, but as your natural state, not as something you do, but as what you are when all doing ceases. This is not a journey of becoming someone new. It is a path of remembering what you already are and have always been. Shiva is not found in the future, in some imagined state of perfection. He is present in this very moment, behind every breath, beneath every passing thought. But to see him, we must become still, not outwardly, but inwardly. To meet Shiva is to turn within, not as an act of escape, but as an act of radical intimacy with the real. It is to close the eyes, not to withdraw from the world, but to enter the space in which all worlds arise. That space is awareness, pure, silent, untouched, and it has no boundary. It is not located in the brain or confined to the body. It is not personal, yet it animates the person. It is not something we possess. It is what we are. Shiva is the recognition of this, that the deepest truth of our being is not a story, not a thought, not a feeling, but this very witnessing presence. And once glimpsed, it changes everything. You begin to see life differently, the noise of the world, the push and pull of desires, the endless striving. It all starts to lose its grip, not because you turn away from it, but because you see through it. You remain in the world, but the world no longer defines you. You act, but you are not lost in action. You speak, but you are not trapped in words. You feel, but you are not overwhelmed. This is the gift of Shiva, the ability to remain rooted in silence, even as life moves. The Upanishads speak of this as the self, the Atman, which is not different from Brahman, the infinite. Shiva, in his highest essence, is this Atman, the unshakable center, the one who was never born and will never die. And when you come to rest in that, you are free, not because your life becomes perfect, but because you realize that what you are is untouched by imperfection, not because suffering disappears, but because suffering no longer defines you. The wave may rise, but you are the ocean. To awaken to Shiva is to drop all seeking, to stop trying to become spiritual, to stop measuring yourself against ideals. It is to sit down, breathe, and see what is already here. It is to recognize that the one who seeks enlightenment is also just a thought. And you are not that thought. You are the space in which it appears. You are not the changing, but the changeless. Not the noise, but the silence beneath it. In ancient iconography, Shiva sits in deep meditation on Mount Kailash, still, unmoving, eyes closed, beyond thought. But this mountain is not just in the Himalayas. It is in you. Every time you close your eyes and rest in awareness, you sit upon that mountain. Every time you watch the mind without clinging, you honor him. Every time you drop into the now, you remember who you are. And that memory is liberation. No temple can contain Shiva because he is not contained. No image can fully represent him because he is beyond form. No mantra can capture him, though mantras can point. He is the breath before the first word, the silence after the last sound, the space between the inhale and the exhale. He is not something to believe in. He is something to realize, directly, nakedly, completely. And yet, he is not separate from life. He is the pulse of the universe, the intelligence in nature, the stillness behind every storm, the clarity behind every confusion. He is not above the world, but within it, within you, waiting to be known, not as a figure of devotion, but as the essence of awareness. To live in the consciousness of Shiva is to trust the unfolding of life. To know that even in chaos there is a deeper order, even in pain a hidden grace. It is to stop resisting and start seeing. To open not just the eyes, but the inner eye, the third eye that sees beyond appearances, that sees what is real, and what is real cannot be named. It can only be lived. This is not philosophy. It is not theory. It is the most intimate truth, and it is yours, not because you earn it, but because you are it. The one watching, the one listening, the one who has never changed, even as everything else has. That one is Shiva, not far away, but here, now, always. Let your practice be simple. Sit, breathe, watch. Let the thoughts come and go. Let the feelings rise and fall. Do not chase, do not fight. just rest. Rest in what watches. Rest in what is always present. This is the doorway. This is the return. If these words have touched something silent in you, like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with the affirmation. I am the stillness behind all thought. This is not just the story of a god. It is your story. The story of returning home to what has always been here. The story of dissolving all illusions until only the real remains. And in that final seeing, there is no one left to see. There is only seeing, only presence, only Shiva. Let this be your remembrance. Let this be your path. Not a journey of distance, but a journey of depth. Into the stillness that is beyond all doing. Into the light that has no opposite. Into the silence that is never disturbed. Shiva is not found. He is revealed. When you are no longer looking elsewhere, when you are no longer trying to be someone, when you simply are, here, now, that is enough. That is freedom. That is Shiva.